Hi friends, it's Laura Fudge with Fudge Beauty, and I'm here in my studio, and I wanted to do a little video today about frequently asked questions about body waxing. So I'm excited to share this with you. My goal is that people who have considered getting waxed or just want to know more about waxing will feel more comfortable looking into having an appointment or even have a better understanding of what to expect when they come in to see me. So the first thing that people typically ask me is about pain. I know a lot of people have been apprehensive about waxing because they imagine this really intense pain. The thing is, yes, I'm ripping the hair out of the follicle and it can be painful, but as an esthetician, I have studied and done this for 8 years, and I really have perfected a technique that allows me to soothe the skin, anticipate the pain, and to really help minimize it as much as possible. I feel like I've really found this sweet spot between pain and discomfort, like helping to manage pain, but also time management. So I have a really efficient waxing method, and I'm excited that a lot of my clients typically tell me it's the best waxing experience they've ever had. And sometimes I'm like, why? What is everybody else doing? But that's another story. So I know what I'm doing, and people tend to say that it really isn't a bad experience. So another question people have is, okay, how long does this last for? When our hair grows, it grows in 3 different phases. And when the hair is out and I remove it, typically that phase of hair is going to be gone for at least 2 weeks. And the great thing is that second phase that comes through still takes a while to come in, and you might not see that for another 2 weeks anyway. So typically you can be rather hair free for that 2-week period before the next phase comes in. So a lot of times people don't really want to come get waxed again until 4 weeks after. So people love to get waxed before vacation because they can expect like wonderfully 2 weeks without a lot of hair at all. I do want to clarify that it doesn't mean that you're going to feel super smooth, because there is that second phase of hair growth that didn't quite come to the surface yet or wasn't yet long enough to remove. And you might kind of feel that on your legs. But the good news is it's really hard to see. So for you, it's more of a tactile response you're looking for. Sometimes people will get waxed to remove all the hair that's on the surface and then wait a day or two and kind of shave the rest of the hair, even if it's the tiny baby hair, so that it feels smoother. That's a personal preference. It's not exactly what I would suggest, but it's up to you. It's your body, So then another question people have is, okay, well, how long does the hair have to be? We typically recommend about 1/4 of an inch, because with that, you're going to be able to kind of move the hair, lift it up, and when we're laying the wax on top, it lays flat, and then we can remove it and it'll lift up and come out. And the lift up motion helps pull it out from the follicle, nice and smooth. So a lot of times, if you're not sure what the 1/4 inch is going to be, we sometimes will say like 2 weeks of growth after shaving. So say you shave on a Saturday, you want to wait until 2 Saturdays after to get waxed. That's probably the best time frame. And I know that can be tough in the summertime, but people get creative. So, or you can just tell your friends, guys, I'm sorry, I'm waiting to get a wax. Leave me alone. So there's that. People ask, how do I dress for this service? It doesn't matter what you come in with. Sometimes people will leave stuff, have like flowy dresses or yoga pants or something breathable that they're not too worried about to wear home. I work hard to make sure that the rest of the wax is removed. We use some oil. We use we wipe stuff down to make sure that the rest of the stickiness is gone. But it's possible you're going to have oiled up legs going into your favorite jeans, and that might not be the best idea. So you might want to bring a backup pair of clothes. Also, maybe not something too tight, because we typically recommend avoiding heat and friction for the first 24 hours after. So if you're trying to squeeze into a really tight pair of jeans, that might feel a little bit uncomfortable on your legs or on the Brazilian area. So that leads me into the next part of aftercare. So like I said, for the first 24 hours, you want to avoid heat and friction. You don't want to go for a run. You don't want to go in a hot tub. And that also helps to make sure that the follicle can rest, that no bacteria or anything comes into the open follicles as best as possible. And after 24 hours or in the 24 to 48 hours, you kind of want to start exfoliating. So different estheticians will have different kinds that they recommend. I don't recommend salt scrubs. I don't really recommend sugar scrubs if you can help it, especially in really sensitive areas. But typically whatever you have at home can work well. And then I do have my own Line Life products that I recommend, like the Bamboo Renew is phenomenal for after waxing. And sometimes even skin polish, if you feel like your skin is really sensitive, skin polish is phenomenal. Even though it's typically a face exfoliant, if you need it on different body areas, it works really well. So another thing people ask about the cost. So the cost of waxing depends on the area, the sensitivity of the area, the difficulty of the area, the square inch area. And so, for example, like a Brazilian wax, because it's a much more involved service that requires a little bit more specialty application, that is typically a more expensive wax than, say, like a full leg wax. And eyebrows are more expensive than a chin wax because, like I said, the specialty of the application, the amount of artistry that goes into it, the amount of skill that goes into it. So if you really want to check out my website, it's fudgebeauty.com, and I have a service menu there you can take a look at. And let me know if you have questions. I'd love to help out with that. So I keep mentioning Brazilian waxes, and I know that that brings up a lot of anxiety for women especially, to think about, oh my gosh, having that intimate area waxed, what can I expect? So I am incredibly body positive. I have seen so many areas in my years, and I find that everyone looks the same. And everyone looks different, and it's no big deal. It's hair and it's skin, and I'm here to help you out. So I want people to feel as comfortable as possible, and I've had people tell me that they do end up feeling really comfortable with me. And my goal is to make sure that you can have the best experience. I'm incredibly, I'm trauma conscious, I'm trauma positive. In the sense that we move at your own pace, we talk about the process, and I hold space for you. So I know that that's really important for me as a survivor, but also just, we don't know what could be triggering or what couldn't, there's a lot on the table. So another question people say is when we do the backside. So a Brazilian wax, to be more specific, is everything from the navel, which is the belly button, to the tailbone. So it is essentially the happy trail all the way through the butt crack. So with that, we are putting you in a lot of different positions to find the best angle to remove all the hair. And the backside, people say, especially my students used to ask, what if I have to fart? Oh my gosh, what happens? Well, the fact of the matter is it's next to impossible to hold in a fart while you're waiting for a wax strip to be removed. Hate to say it's true. But the good news is I don't put my face there. I literally know that when I'm in that area, I'm wax them over here. And it happens, and it's normal, and that's just the fact of the matter. So some people are like, oh my God, I could never do your job. Oh my God, that's kind of crazy. But the way I see it, I'm thankful to offer service to people, whoever needs it, no matter what, to be able to be in the intimate space and to help them. So, there's ups and downs to every job, and if that's the downside of my job, whatever, it's not a big deal to me. So I hope this little thing helped everyone have a better idea about waxing, to have a better idea about what to expect in the whole process. And oh goodness, let me know if you have questions. Send me messages, put comments below. I'm really happy to answer as honestly as possible and to really help out. So I'm really hoping I will also see you guys soon for a wax. So thank you for watching, and have a phenomenal day, guys. Bye.